Least favorite, the saw, has to be in here today because it's the first day back to Pilates. Palms facing front. Inhale, twist. Exhale, reach the opposite arm to the small toe, backhand, thumb faces down. Opposite hip stays on the mat. You come back up, stacking yourself back up. Palm back thumb comes back up, and then center. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, reach forwards, back thumb down. Inhale, stack yourself back up in the rotation, back thumb comes back up, and then center. So twist, reach forwards, stack yourself back up, center. Twist, reach forwards, stack yourself back up, and center. One last time. Twist, reach forwards. You should feel the front arm pushing forwards, the back arm pulling back. So you've got a push-pull over the shoulders. Come back up and down. So far, so good. And from here, we're going to go into one more small ab series. Again, come back into your lifted position. Hands behind your head to give your neck a bit of support. Heavy head, so really bring your head into your hands. And then from here, you're going to do toe taps, okay? So you can exhale, toe tap, come back. Elbows to roughly 45. You should be able to see the elbows in your side vision. Whole spine on the mat. Imprint spine. So for 5, 4, 3, rest your head into your hands, 2, and 1. From here, directly into the crisscross. Opposite shoulder to opposite knee, and then come back. Opposite shoulder, opposite knee. Hips stay squared. Again, it's just the rib cage moving, and it's shoulder to knee, not elbow to knee. So there's no need to bring the elbow across your body. Elbows don't have to be involved in this. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. And come down. The more you put your weight of your head into the hands, the more your abs can basically do all the work. Everyone uses a lot of the neck to do a lot of the ab work. Okay, bridging. Feet hip distance apart, arms by your side. Inhale, exhale, round the spine. Lower spine, mid spine, upper spine. Knees pressing forwards. Open up the hip joint. Inhale, exhale. Roll down from the upper spine. Hips shouldn't move until you've got no choice but to bring them back down. Pubic bone falls to the belly button. Imprint the spine, and then back to neutral. And in. So do this a few times. And then come up. We've actually done quite a lot of spine work previously when we were sitting. So you should feel these bridges feel quite smooth already. And then come up. And then come back down. One last time, and stay in your bridge position. From here, I'm just going to ask you to lift the heels, lower the heels. Lift and lower. You might want to bring your feet slightly closer to your bum and down. So as you're lifting and lowering, basically there should be no change really in your bridge. You should probably feel a little bit more glute work, and of course some calf work. 4, 3, 2, last time, and 1. And roll back down. So because today is more of a stretchy come back to Pilates, I'm not even going to attempt any single bridge work today. Okay, so far so good. And then from here, we're going to roll over onto the stomach. It's going to be the swan. So you can see how all this articulation is working out to get the spine moving. Start with the basic baby swan, feet hip distance apart. Hands by your sides, by your shoulders, arms in a W shape. Look down at the mat, relax your arms, and you're just going to gently bring the shoulder blades down and just lift your chest, ribs stay, and then come back to one long line. It's not about throwing back the neck. There should be no crease behind your neck, and come back down. Basically, if I asked you, actually we'll do that in a minute. So again, it's just a gentle lift of the chest. Feels like the crown of your head is reaching forwards, not really about reaching upwards. Pubic bone heavy. Feel like you're gently tucking your pelvis under, just so that it means it can protect the lower spine. And one last time, gentle lift, and come back. This time, hands by your hips. You're going to do exactly the same. So it's called the dart. So it looks like the dart. You look like you're a one long line, a dart. So again, as you noticed, the lifting only comes from the mid back. You might not be able to come up super high. It's no problem. As long as you feel the mid back working, that's good. 3, 2, last time, and 1. Okay. And again, you just bring your hands back to the start of the W that we just did. And then from here, you're going to lift the chest a little in a low hover. Hover your arms off. You're just going to go to a T, Y, I, and W. T, Y, I, and W. T, Y, I, and W. One last time. T, Y, I, and W. Now you can rest your forehead on your hands. Just going to work on the legs a little bit. Slightly wider than hip distance apart, externally rotated, i.e. knees pointing outwards. And you're just going to lift both legs and come back down. Travel your feet along the mat, then lift to the back of the room. That will mean that the lift comes more from the glutes than from the hamstrings. Super straight legs. Try to think the thigh bone is trying to be pulled out of the hip socket. So you lengthen in the front of the hip. So you should feel a lot of glute work. So 3, relax the shoulders though, and 2, last time, and 1. So now we're going to put the full swan together, hands by your shoulders. You're going to have to move around maybe wider or slightly, everyone's hand position is different. Again, legs definitely wider than hip distance. Shoulder blades down, lift the chest, ribs in. Hips are off, but pubic bone is on the mat, and then gently come back down. All right. Always shoulder blades down, lift the chest, ribs in, abs in. If you don't do ribs in, abs in, you'll dump in the lower spine and come back down. And then, of course, when you're in the top of your swan, shoulders relaxed, nice long neck. No crease behind the neck. This one should feel really nice if you're into the swanning extension stuff, but just make sure the ribs are in though, especially the rib cage area. And one last time, come up in the swan. So my arms don't fully extend. Some students can totally straighten out their arms. My elbows are still bent, so my swan is not that great. And one last time. Aesthetic aesthetically not that great, I mean. Everyone's swan will always look different. And come back down, push back, go into child pose and counter stretch your lower spine. And then come back up. All right. Going to come to a 4-point kneeling position. I'm going to do the basic fire hydrant situation to just to a little bit waken up the side hips. So hands under the shoulders, knees under your hips. Don't arch the lower spine. Basically flat back, push away from the mat. Okay. Right knee floats, and you're just going to open the knee up and come back down, up and down. That's a typical fire hydrant. Technically it's not a Pilates move, but I didn't want to bother with sideline today. So for 6, make sure that the neck, your eyes, you're not having your head down here. Neck is nice and long. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then bring the leg down, rearrange, left leg floats, and then in and out. So for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So far so good. Okay. One last version. We're just going to do the leg pull front. So we're going to go straight into a plank position. And then just going to bring one leg up and then down. Other leg up and down. So mini marches in the plank. As much as possible, keep the hips not from sinking. So for 6, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back into child pose. That's literally it, guys. No more harder than that. And then come back up. We're not going to do anything more crazy than that. I'm going to finish off with mermaid. So this would be your right leg in front, left leg behind, I'm assuming, if it's mirror imaging and I've got it correct. And then just inhale, exhale, side bend. Bottom shoulder is relaxed. Come back up. When you go up and over, this hip, the left hip, should stay as much as possible glued to the floor. 2. And 1. Other side. Because we didn't do any side bending, so that's the last movement of the spine. So spine basically only moves forwards, flexion, extension, rotation, i.e. twist, and then bend, side bends, lateral bends. 2. Last time, and 1. I don't even know if it was the same number of reps on either side, but you can sort that out. Thank you guys. So that was just a bit more of a, mobility and stretch workout. Next class we'll add the intensity up a little bit more. Okay, bye guys, see you next time.